Bitcoin Bollinger Bands are contracting to some of the lowest levels ever. And this does remind me a lot of how the Bollinger Bands also looked like just before the FOMC meeting in 2024. And then with the fact in mind that that meeting was quite similar like we are going to see now, with a 25 BPS rate cut to be expected also for September the 17th, so tomorrow, and a very different Federal Reserve outlook, a shift in monetary policy. Also that we saw in 2024, I do think that is going to repeat. That doesn't mean we are just going to shoot up higher after the FOMC meeting, in my opinion. I'm expecting definitely for today, tomorrow and the day after, and maybe even next week, still more volatility before we are eventually going to be heading higher. Also, what is going to be very important, it's not only going to be a Federal Reserve meeting, also the dot plot is going to drop, so we will get an outlook on how much rate cuts the Federal Reserve officials are expecting for this year. Now 3 rate cuts are getting priced in. So that is going to be quite interesting. Meanwhile, Bitcoin on the short term is actually creating this bull flag. Just before the meeting, we are creating one of the most bullish breakout patterns, which is ultimately looking quite interesting. And Bitcoin is now testing the midline of this major range we have been creating. We've been breaking back into the range, a very strong Bitcoin price action lately. And now we are seeing somewhat of a rejection at that mid-range level. So quite interesting how the short-term Bitcoin charts are looking like here. We do know by now, like discussed in a lot of these update videos, that Bitcoin is flashing this bullish crossover on the stock RSI. And every single time we saw this signal flash for Bitcoin, this bull market, we always saw major moves higher. So me personally, I don't think this time is going to be any different, to be fair. But of course, a signal like this will take some time to be truly starting to play out. We are breaking out of this falling wedge just before Q4 is going to get started. And that reminds me a lot of what happened in 2024, before we saw the massive Q4 breakout, and also 2023. Every single time we do see somewhat of a breakout pattern. It is a different one, but eventually the outcome is going to be the same. It's going to be a huge breakout in Q4, in my opinion, because that is going to be one of the most bullish periods for Bitcoin, crypto and altcoins. This hidden bullish divergence is also perfectly playing out for Bitcoin, like we have been predicting on the channel, a textbook hidden bullish divergence. And now I do want to discuss some news and some economic data, because like stated, we will not only see the FOMC meeting and the Powell speech, but also the dot plot, so how the Fed officials are thinking of more rate cuts this year, next year and the years to come. So it's going to have a huge effect on the market. Expect more volatility and potential de-risking before the FOMC meeting is going to get started, and also the days afterwards. So it's interesting, but ultimately, in the end, I do think these rate cuts are going to turn out bullish in somewhat of the short term for Bitcoin, crypto and altcoins heading into Q4. And that's why I do think the perfect storm is about to get started with, like stated in the intro also, gold is hitting all-time highs, the US stock market is hitting all-time highs, Bitcoin is close to all-time highs, and now the Federal Reserve is about to cut the rates. So I do think you are seriously not bullish enough if you are not expecting a huge breakout in Q4. Then I also want to give a big update on my Ethereum trading position and also on my altcoin trading positions. I still have this Ethereum trading position open, which is now in a slight profit, but XRP and Ondo are now in a little bit of a loss. So basically I'm break even on my trades now, which is perfectly fine. I also have some Ethereum limit orders open still, just in case Ethereum is going to drop lower after the FOMC meeting, a lot of volatility, I don't know, but then I do want to open a position at, for example, that $4,000 level. If we could be coming back to a level like that, it's going to be a gift in my opportunity. But of course, I will keep you guys updated about these trades, and even faster if you're going to join the VIP Telegram channel. Here, me, Crypto Rover, and 5 professional other traders are constantly sharing our ideas of the market, sharing our trading setups, and much more. And if you do want to get updated in real time about, for example, my trades also, make sure to join the VIP Telegram channel. You can find the link in the description under this video here to the VIP Telegram group if you're getting truly interested in that. And now I do want to discuss some Ethereum. Ethereum is of course flashing this signal still, which we have been discussing in other videos, this golden crossover on the 3 daily time frame, which is ultimately looking very bullish for Ethereum. And every single time we saw this signal flash, or the last 2 times we saw this signal flash, we always saw a major breakout and continuation for Ethereum. And that continuation is still what I'm expecting. On the shorter term, Ethereum is now finding some support at this key level where we also got rejected from a few times. So basically the most important resistance got turned into support now, and if we could see continuation from here, that's going to be highly bullish for Ethereum. My outlook for altcoins remains the same, like discussed in a lot of my update videos. Of course, the altcoin season index here is flashing 80, so it's indicating that now we are in an altcoin season. But if you take a look at the yearly perspective, we are not even close to an altcoin season yet. So I do think there's still a lot of opportunities in the market, lots of opportunities to be accumulating more altcoins eventually, because the true altcoin season is going to start once this index is going to be heading higher, and that is simply not the case yet. I do think we are now slowly transitioning from phase 2 to phase 3, because large caps have been starting outperforming like Solana and BNB. We are slowly shifting into phase 3, and eventually we are all waiting for this phase 4, that true altcoin season to get started. And once that's going to happen, you will also see this index heading much higher. So that's my look on altcoin season currently. Then a quick overlook of the seasonality, like we discussed in yesterday's video. September is now green, basically following the 2024 and 2023, so this bull market years, and also 2015 and 2016, where September was also green for Bitcoin. And always once we saw that, we saw a very bullish Q4 follow. So that is definitely a great outlook for Q4 also. And this is of course something not a lot of people have been expecting. But since this is playing out now, maybe it's better to look into 2024 and 2023 than, for example, into the post-halving years. And if you're going to do so you can clearly see that yes, Q4 is a hugely bullish period for Bitcoin. Same can be said for Ethereum, and the same can be said for the others market cap, so smaller altcoins. So I do think that is looking absolutely amazing. I will also be giving another update on the altcoin season market in another live stream planned for today. Here it is, my final warning for crypto holders. We will do a little bit of a market scan ahead of the FOMC, and tomorrow of course I will be live streaming the FOMC meeting, because that's going to be one of the most important events in quite a long time. And guys, that was it for today's update video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's update video, and I will see you guys within my next live stream or in the next update video tomorrow.